Hey guys, welcome to the season 2 of the Art at Heart podcast. Man, this is the podcast where we dive deep into the soul of creativity, culture, and getting to see the pulse of the vibrant art of this local art scene. And to commence this season, we're journeying into conversations that they show the growth of the artistic art scene. And starting off us, man, is Akoth Jumadi, man, an artist, a celebrated artist from Kisumu, from Kenya. And I love
Yeah.
having her here, man. And this is going to be fun. This is going to be so fun. And thank you, God, for coming.
Kabisa, kabisa.
How
Thank
does
you
it?
for having
You're
me.
welcome, man. It's been a
Yeah.
minute.
Imekwa. A minute is a kidogo. It's
Yeah,
been quite some time.
quite some time. How does it feel to be back in Kisumu?
It's home, I feel like if you visit a same place,
Uh-huh.
but you look at it with different eyes.
Yeah.
Because we may grow, may take some time.
Uh-huh.
And now just after walking down the street, everything feels different but familiar. So Nikama, I'm learning who I am again through visiting this place. Now, because so grateful that I can be able to do that.
Yeah. What did you miss about Kisumu?
The lake, the water, mommy, water, the lake, the rhythm of Kisumu. Iko like Hakuna Matata. Like
Yeah.
everything is just moving. It's like uko kwandiga, you're just
Yeah.
driving.
Isuri
It's just it's
manamos.
most
Yeah.
And I miss that. It's just there's a feeling that gives me as living in Nairobi now, like which is
Yeah.
very fast paced.
Uh-huh.
I don't also know if it's fast paced because we say it's fast paced or because it's fast paced, but like
Is it? Is it really?
but
Uh-huh.
Andala, so I'm home.
Yeah, Indala.
And I feel so much as an artist. I'm getting so much. Like it's like I'm being pumped
Karibu.
with
Karibu.
inspiration.
Warwa Kidala.
I'm more in
Nice.
Sante.
And coming back to Kisumu, you've been here, you've done your work here. What influence would you say this town has had on your music?
Oh wow. Kisumu is Yani is the place where I was able to go back to my roots, and
Yeah.
like just it's created the perfect environment, for me to listen to this language, eat this food,
Yeah.
walk the streets, just to be part of the community, to know myself through the eyes of people who we share the same ancestry with. So that's been so beautiful. Kisumu it was where I decided I want to sing in Doluo,
Yeah.
and I want to be an ambassador of that culture, of that. Yeah, I'm so proud and honored to be a Nyaluo.
Nyaluo.
Yani, I'm
Nyakisumo.
so,
Nyagweng.
Nyagweng. Yani, inanifurahisha roho, moyo
Karibu, man.
kabisa.
So glad to hear that. And talking about your ancestry in Kisumu, how would you describe your music style? Because your music is, I would say, spiritual. It's enchanting. It feels nice. How would you describe your music style as a Kochumadi?
Well, when I'm asked this question, I say, when you listen to the music, how does it make you feel? Like I could say it's this and that and
Yeah.
that, but what is it really? It's a hybrid of sorts. I feel like I'm not really, I can't really put it in a particular genre, but I can tell you what influences are behind it. Luo gospel, rumba, jazz, very instrumental jazz music is part of Tarab, which I
Yeah.
listen to a lot, and spending a lot of time in Tanzania and Zanzibar, also influencing my art. And what else? Yeah, it's jazz, it's folk, his spirit, his movement, it's spirit, it's
Crazy.
yeah.
I love, for me, I see it as spiritual a lot.
Kabisa.
And I'd really want to know, how do you get to modernize or just interpret or bring together the folk and the modern ways and just put it in your music? How do you get to do that?
Well, every artist has different interpretations. You see, as an artist, I feel like we observe, we internalize, and then we transcend that internalization, and then we express now in the way that we understand. It's like just looking expressing this music through my own experience, through
Yeah.
my own internalization of what it means to me,
Yeah.
and also the music that I've listened to growing up and using that as a means to express my music. But mostly it's just, yeah, expressing through my own experience, expressing my immediate environment through my own lens, through my own eyes as an artist.
And what kind of music, which artists were pillars to the music you used to listen to back then, and how is that morphosized right now? Yeah.
Well, I grew up listening to a lot of rumba and benga because my dad on Sundays ilikuwa atuoni cartoon, atuoni
Yeah,
TV.
Rumba.
Yani ni siku tu yake kwa
Yeah.
TV, meza, feet on the table, just reminiscing on the old
Yeah.
days. Now, tukiwa dogo, we used to make fun of it, to be like, oh, make fun of a song that he would sing, and then without knowing by default, tulikuwa tuna G-Train also,
Yeah.
rather nilikuwa na G-Train to be a musician. But I think most people in my household are like musical, My young bro raps.
Yeah.
My other bro is a very good, like we all have a very good understanding of music. I think from your foundation. So rumba, benga, I listen to a lot of Franco, Madilu, Musa Juma,
Yeah.
Billy Abel, Susanna, Ovio. Growing up, yeah, and I think that shaped some of my sound and even Tarab music. Alafu as I grow older, watch the beats,
Yeah.
vitu kama hizo, and then as I even grow older in music, and sasa mimi ndo kwanza kudefine what sound do I like, how do I want to express my music, and also starting to play instruments as well played a huge role in my influence in music. In that, I feel okay, you're an instrumentalist, then you have some sort of control over how you want your sound and your music to be like. But to answer your question, yeah, rumba, rock, reggae, hip hop
Yeah.
is a big influence as well. I had like a phase where I listened to a lot of hip hop music, and yeah, tarab and many other things, and jazz as well is a very big factor of.
Nice, nice. And you've mentioned music and you've mentioned instruments. Your love for instruments. Can you just take us through that, please? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yani tom is so, yeah, it's expression,
Okay.
and like I feel for me, the instrument is my weapon of choice. An instrument is like what's your in a battle, you have your spears, and for me, I'll come with
Yeah,
it's
instruments.
like my armor,
Yeah.
and I feel being able to to have an instrument is an extension of my art is beautiful. So I try to learn as much as I can, as many instruments as I can put my hands
How many
on.
instruments can you play right now?
Four.
Four. Which one?
For nyatiti, lead guitar, bass guitar, just guitar, and ukulele. A little bit, yeah. So far, so good, and I'm just continuing.
You're
And
learning new skills.
am I? I'm just interested. Batizo Zingine, I know learning an instrument takes a lot of discipline and time to really just commit. But then, yeah, you can be a multi instrumentalist and play many instruments if you really want, and the rules
Yeah.
apply. As in apply, and almost the same. So
Does it all come at once? The music, the instruments, or it's one step at a time?
to me, or like generally,
To you.
does it all come once?
Yes. Did you start? Did your love for instruments and music just go hand in hand, or did you just start singing and then you were like, okay?
I started singing for sure. I mean, it was my hope that many of us who are coming up, that they come up with a lot of instruments and things around them that they can play. But for me, it was just music first, singing, listening, and then as I grew older and wanted to get deep, I was like, okay, I need my expression to be complex or to be like this, and singing alone couldn't.
Yeah.
Enge Maliza,
Equation,
art.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started playing. I remember tukiwa Goan, actually. I was in Maseno at the time, and tulikuwa tu hiyo ni place watu walikuwa wana chill tu, like ukienda unapata wasanii wako kwa kona yao wanafanya their different things, And I remember there's one guy anaitwa Trevor, coming it out of nowhere, but alikuja akaanza kutuambia venye ako na magitaa mingi. Nikasema, hey, uko na gitaa, so unipatie moja, mimi najua kucheza. But I know at that point I wasn't so good, but miraculously I agree. And then I remember kulikuwa na so many people wenye walikuwa wanaweza kucheza guitar hapo around, and then mtu akanifunza basics, and then nikaanza tu kucheza like, yeah, maybe 2015, 2016, but is when I really touched a guitar and like started to play proper. Alafu, the rest is history.
The rest is history, man.
Kabisa. Ama, is it history though?
Is
Mbona
it really
tunasemanga that?
It's not history. It's still
The rest is Nini, is the present. I don't know. Yeah, it's what we see.
Definitely, and that is nice. Your blend of instruments and the way you sing, the way you write your music. You said we've talked about this, but still, I still feel like there's some form of activism and healing
Kabisa.
in your music. Please take us through that.
I mean, yeah, I think the more you get into the arts, the more it gets cool, explore deeper parts of yourself, deeper parts of your environment, and you realize that music is powerful.
Yeah.
Like imagine from Kitambo, we've had music in all ceremonies you could imagine, whether it's drumming, singing, yani music, which is sound. And even in the beginning, to quote the word, there was a word, and word is sound, you know, and sound is music. So kuna venye sound awakens some frequencies, you know, within, without, that are very, I think it's a nice place to tap into, you know. So yeah, music just helped me tap into this different things that I wanted to say, like talk about my experiences, whether it be love, pain, joy, political awakening, collective liberation, you know, like, and I addressed that so much in my music, even in like Mak Uruyo, which was a track in Yonika. It was like, yeah, like guys, I remember we've had this conversation so many times. Oh, Kisumu is taking his time, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, kwa ground maybe, you know, now that I think of it, maybe it is Nafanyika. And Makuruyo was like, guys, let's get on the way. Wamakyo, twende to do all these things we want to do. We're saying, oh, akunai. Get up and do it. Like, get your people, get your community, get your jogi, you know.
Bring it all. Glory.
Briani, come, let's tuchafue. And like, I feel the Luo power. You know, I was reading about history and even talking to a lot of my friends about Joluo, you know, and we could be Luo, yani watu wakutoa, like kutoa fish, you know, like ama just like we ama tuna, what's the word? We bring more people to see. Yani we're like, yeah, like you fishermen, yani.
I get it.
Exactly. Definitely. So there's so much power in our people as a collective, our histories, where we come from. So if we really tap into that, if you do it mtumoja, well and good. If we do it collectively, now that's some magic, you know. Nice. So it's just also to address hizo vitu za society, and to teach and to address, to teach, and also create, a form of healing in that kwa bedo kanyakla. When we're listening to music, then we transcend, you know, anything that's ailing us, anything that's difficult for us, music can set us free, you know. So it's about that as well. Yeah, artivism and creating a form of healing, which is communion, let's say, with the community.
Okay, I see love, spirituality, political liberation, cultural integration. Yeah. Which one would you say resonates with you right now?
Kabisa ni ambassador of that. Because if we're not living as our culture, then we're living as somebody else's dream of who we're supposed to be. Who wants that? Lazima tujempower venye tuko. Yani around too. Yani just, yani there's so much power in that, you know, that collective overstanding and understanding of who we are, and the amount of magic we can make in the world.
Okay. And I can make out one theme that really stands out in your music, even before the political liberation and activism, is love. Tell us about love in your life. how do you see love in your life before you put even your music? What is love to Akoth Jumadi?
Wow, that's a good question. Love is like, oof. It's that it's that feeling that Magolie Mudo,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
brings you to the light. And Mudo
Definitely.
can be anything. It can be your inability to do things, your poverty, your whatever you feel is darkness.
Yeah.
Love is that feeling that takes you out of who you cannot be into who you truly are, into your glory, into your magic, into your light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn. I love that. I love that. I love that answer. That response is so wild.
Aye,
So let us
aye.
switch gears. Jumadi, you're a travel artist. And recently you're in
Traveling.
traveling. Yeah, traveling. We're still
Sababu
doing
bado
that. Yeah.
lazima
Bado
ma
tunasonga. Passport lazima ijae.
sindio kabisa
Yeah.
kabisa.
You've recently had your residency in India. Tell us about your residency.
Whoa. Now it may seem like I'm processing these things fast, but I've processed these things for,
Yeah.
like, wow, I had the time of my life. I feel last year there was a moment where I was craving adventure. I was craving much more than what my environment could afford me, and I feel as artists, sometimes we do that. Because good if you can stay in one place and still keep finding inspiration, and sometimes it's like that, some people
Yeah.
are like that. But I felt like last year I was just like I needed more. I wanted more. I wanted to move because I felt like Nikama, I was stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
And my album Ereo was playing again and again in my head. It's like, where's the way? What do I need? And going to India opened up so, Yani, some things inside you don't even know they exist. It
Yeah.
unlocked all these things. It was fast. It was so much art, so much spirituality as well, so much religion, so
Yeah.
much food, so much culture, and it was overwhelming in the best way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to learn. It made me appreciate myself more and where I come from, because you get to see the dynamics that make a place like India, for example, in Bombay, where I was in Mumbai,
Yeah.
be what it is. And you come back and you're like, yeah, you get to see the good, the bad, the ugly, the possibilities, and then you get to decide what you want to do with that through your art. And for me, that it was a whole palette of paint for me to just
Yeah.
draw
Yeah.
in, and it was nice. I was welcomed. I was They were curious about my art. They were curious particularly about Inyatiti,
Yeah.
which I went, and everyone was just blown away with the sound.
You
And
played it there.
Kabisa. Yes, I did. I played a couple of shows. My final residency showcase was a collaboration of me, Nyatiti player, and a traditional Indian dancer with a style called Kathak. And we fused our styles. I'm yet to put that video on YouTube. It's coming soon. And also I did So Far Bombay, which was so good. And yeah, they really resonated with that sound, which is so interesting. And even some things were so similar, like the gara, which is the jingle you
Yeah.
play when you're
Yeah.
playing the artist.
Yeah.
They also have something like that, and they call it gurguru or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to see,
Yeah.
the
Same.
dynamics and the
Yeah.
similarities. And we're just one people separated by sea or color
Yeah.
that they say, but we're one people, and
Definitely.
yeah. And also to see the love that they have for their art, for their gods, for themselves, really reinforce the fact that lazima tujipende, yani, in our arts, in our people, and we support each other because we are each other's reflections, So really reinforce the need to build community with my own people. And as much as an oko and a travel, I also to come back home and build community and inspire community, and work and be with community. Because that's your inetwaje, that's your resource,
Yeah.
like the people around you are your
Definitely.
exactly.
So while in India, did you find any cross-cultural connections between the Indians and the Luas? Like you said,
Yeah, the gara
the
and the
Gara.
gurgur.
Yes.
That was so nini. And so they told me about rain dancing. Like the nini, so they always used to have somebody who, I don't know how we do it here in Luo culture, but for a rain dance, someone, someone sings, like how Ayub says Kotbiro and kind of sings into, And I remember someone used to make a joke that whenever we play that Kotbiro song, it's a place that we used to sing. It's
Yeah.
like, don't sing that song because it will rain.
Yeah.
But you see, it's like the way, like, there's the use of art to express, that is something that we share in common. They're really, they're dancers, they're classical dancers and musicians. It's
Yeah.
something that is really invested a lot in, and people really appreciate. Like unaweza pata gigs hizo traditional ziko mingi kuliko, how like the pop culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So that means tradition is still flowing uko, which
Nice.
is, yeah, that's one of them. Which other? Yeah, a couple of maybe more that I could remember
Okay.
later.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And probably you got a residency, and you say it started from a place where you wanted something new. You wanted a challenge, for a better word. And you these residencies are there. How would you say it starts for you to even get them, for the artists that are gonna say, "Oh, Jumadi was in there. How do I pull myself there?" Yes.
To be curious, to be hungry,
Yeah.
there's so many of these opportunities. It's just looking and searching on the internet or through referrals from a friend. Like, for me now, guys know I went there. I'm so open to sharing the knowledge, and it's archived on like my
Yes.
pages, and how you can access, these places. And yeah, you do these applications, and yeah, you find yourself in a different continent, and yeah, you have the right people to help you support your. Actually, the right people is never really a thing. Just you be in alignment with your calling,
Yes.
and be hungry for it and chase it. And I think everything else it'll fall into place. Yeah, your hunger. You need that hunger. Like kitchen ku excite every day, kwamka could chase what you're doing. Like, how does that? Yeah,
Something to fuel you.
exactly. And also, are you fueling the people around you? Woke you are
Yes,
fueled.
nice.
Are you passing on the
Mantle,
the
yeah.
mantle to
Definitely.
the people around you?
Yeah.
So I feel, yeah, baraka zikiflow kwako zina flow to many other people.
Nice.
So the more you give, I think the more you leave space for receiving more as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and with artistry, I think it's something of giving. Awezi collab or something, and you keep something for yourself. I feel like, that's where I'm at now. I just feel like with artistry, it's a giving thing. As much as you'd want to own whatever it is, it's complicated.
Yeah.
But then it's possible. But then just figure out why you're doing what you do. Be hungry for it. And yeah, your tribe, your community, it's aligned. It's
Yeah.
aligned.
Takeaway home is be hungry for it.
Yeah. Your
You have
takeaway.
you have to be
Yeah.
hungry for it.
Kabisa, like, yeah, like, I imagine my process when I'm making an album. I'm like a mad woman, I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, this, that. Apo yani niko ndani,
Yeah.
Kwa hivyo, yeah, just want it as much as, like, let it want your art as much as you want it to want you.
Yeah.
But then everything is everything.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you've talked about when you're creating your album. What does a day in the life of Akoth Jumadi while she's creating look like?
Yeah.
Are there chaos? Are there rituals you do before you start all this?
Well, this is some high level information. But usually by the time nimefika ati sasa tuko stu natengeneza album, I've seen it through. I was telling Heidi this, just see the entirety of whatever it is you're trying to make. Feel it, feel the emotions, and then before you release it to the world, sasa kwanza execute. Ni kama umedraw a sketch, and now you're just painting and filling in the blanks of what it is you're doing. When I'm making an album, I'm calm. I don't do much. I try to make sure niko karibu na studio, so I'm not so far from where it needs to be. My people are set. Everyone coming to the set. Kila mtu, we organize akona transport. Amefika, atarudi, amekula. Set, we've rehearsed the songs. All just we need to do is sit in the studio and to execute, And also the emotion, the intention that we're putting in the song, ikosete,
The vibe, jogi. They call it jogi.
Exactly, jogi, correct,
Nice.
just because I feel if you're gonna put something in a record, it's gonna be there for a long time. So you might as well just lock it in vizuri.
Be there.
kabisa.
When you're composing as Jumadi, what comes first? The lyrics, the tune,
The feeling,
the feeling.
the feeling. Inaweza kwa attune the feeling.
Yeah.
And then I translate the feeling.
Translate it all.
The emotion, yeah.
Yes.
But first it was like, this, I feel this, I've seen this, I want this. And then now I put it into words. I'm gonna put it on the guitar fast. Alafu sasa tunapanga panga hizo tu zingine.
Okay. Now that Akoth is back in Kisumu, I don't know how long you're going to be in Kisumu, but so far, what kind of conversations do you think your stay here is going to spark?
That's a very interesting time because I'm even trying to figure out why, Jogi was pulling me to be here in this moment in time.
Yeah.
But I feel it's to awaken, like there's something for everybody to take right now with how the world is going. Like, wamak uruyo.
Yeah, wamak
Yani,
uruyo.
let's go get it. Yani, kwani ikonini,
Yeah.
like now's the time. Like, yani, yeah, let's get on the way. Let's go, let's do, let's be, let's manifest, let's go beyond. To quote Safaricom, turn it to QK. Like yani just to arribu man, let's just you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So you're back. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm back, but I've always just been here. My spirit, my music was here when I wasn't. And
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We see you in billboards. We were so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Asante.
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 Yeah.
Pole pole. I give thanks. Ero kamano.
So what next for Akoth Jumadi?
Yeah.
What
More
next?
music, more community, more laughter, more joy, more money,
Definitely.
more life, more friendship, more family,
More travels.
more joy, more ease,
Yeah.
more rest, more glowing, more shining, and more every good thing.
Nice.
More yani an abundance as well.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Akoth, for coming.
Thank you
so
Harry.
much. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so
Asante.
humbled to have you here. And we hope this is going to help shift your mindsets out there as an artist, hailing from this town. Akoth is here. She is a true testament. So let's keep doing. Let's be hungry. Say, this is the Art at Heart podcast with your boy Pally. And thank you guys. See you at episode 2.
Bye.